can you tell us about season 2 so far? Obviously not much, but what is okay to say?
Oh my God, I don't know what it's okay to say. You very quickly create spoilers with a show like this because, you end season 1 with so many questions, so many answerable questions, and we begin to answer them. But with every new question we answer, 10 more get answered. Who you will meet very early on in the second season is Abinson from the book, The Man in the High Castle. You will meet Hawthorne Abinson. Beyond that, I'm not going to tell you a thing about it. And what he gives Juliana Crane will propel the season and open up a depth of understanding about what the films are, but ask so many more questions of our audience to be patient and tolerant with us about and trust us to deliver upon.
I think what Tagomi brings in the second season is really the view of any foreigner that comes to America, period. And I think it's important that we Americans especially, in moving into a world that's changing to be such a bigger stage than we ever considered. We were always content with just our American selves, with our selfie selves. And that world is no longer valid. There's still people trying to hang on to that. There's still people trying to sell that. The worst 4-letter word is hype. And America couldn't have been any better at hyping out generations. I mean, when I was growing up and they were hyping us over cereal and Nestle's Quick and then cereals with Nestle's Quick along with your drink that is strawberry, I threw up. So. and when we get caught up in our head and we get into so much untruth, we're going to end up in trouble. And I think that's a big part of why we're where we are now. There's been so much untruth that's been promoted for Americans that you can't rule by domination. You cannot just power somebody to be afraid of you so much and have the world be someplace that's livable. I mean, there's a lot of room here. As long as we don't keep building up more and more weapons, and then you see that someone else, it just gets into this arms race. I mean, it's obnoxiously simple, but we have an opportunity to be more fruitful about it, especially this generation of millennials that you guys got to really experience what power is. It ends up at the voting box. It's one vote, one person. Great idea if you use it. And this generation got it. And I just hope that you guys don't ever let that go, because you can bring about a whole new perception of what power is. We've had to live under nemesis of our parents and the 2 world wars before that. And you guys just started a new war. You call it a revolution. It's a revolutionary war. It's 1776 again, which says we need to have some basic truths addressed here. Education doesn't need to be selling itself. We don't need to have kids coming out of school with $100,000. Healthcare can be a lot simpler. There are places in the world that show that. So we're shooting in Canada, and it's just so amazing that I have a society that looks American. I mean, it's America without an attitude.
Have you got time for one more question, I suspect?
Last question.
No.
Your character is the struggle that he has between, he's in the power and his loyalty to his country, and you can see, though, that he's questioning that situation. And then he goes into this other world where it's presumably our world, especially, I would assume there was a reason that his assistant is from Nagasaki. How is he going into this next season now that he sees, he's already been struggling with the idea of the world he lives in, and now he sees what could have been, but at the cost of Japan? parts of Japan.
Well, he carries with him that Japanese thing, and I'm speaking from personal experience. It's so genetic, you can't leave it behind. It's not like just dropping your bags and walking across the border. It's like they're handcuffed to you, so you couldn't if you wanted to. So even though it's completely different universe, he still carries the values, and he carries the search, because he's on an internal journey. So the search continues. It doesn't matter which reality, it just becomes a different sort of tweak and twist, but that internal part and the idea of what he wants to achieve in the former reality is peace. And what we're going to find is he's going to be confronted with the 60s peace movement. He's going to be confronted with a lot of things that can help him further develop those skills, and then we'll see what happens with the skills.
Thank you, everyone.
All right,
for the
thank
time.
you so much.
Thank you.